Welcome back to Break the Bank Garage. I have a fun but potentially controversial video today. I'm going to be taking my BMW F30 335i and giving it the complete Amazon makeover. And what I mean by that is I have gone on Amazon and ordered 7 different exterior cosmetic upgrades, all very inexpensive, $50 or less on Amazon. These are the kind of things when you see on a car going down the street, you either look at them, judge them, and think, why the heck would you stick that onto your car? Or they look so good, you kind of like it, or maybe you don't even notice it blends in that well. Well, I'm going to be putting these all on today, going from the front to the middle to the back, replacing parts, upgrading the car. And we're going to see what we like, what we don't like. I can undo any of this, don't worry. Comment below what you like, what you don't like. I have a feeling there's going to be lots of argument on this. So let's get to work, take a look at what I have here on my toolbox. I'm actually going to change the order up a little bit. I'm going to start with the middle of the car, which are a few upgrades I have for the mirrors. First of all, I have these BMW M-style mirror caps. And then I have these LED sequential turn signals. They got a little dusty in my garage. So these things are going to work together and hopefully upgrade the look of the mirror. First thing I gotta do is disassemble the mirrors. We gotta take the glass out. So I've got the glass tilted all the way up. I'm gonna use a nice wide pry tool. Try to pop this out. Now I'll try to get the cap off by squeezing all these clips together. Now, one thing that has me a bit skeptical about this mirror cap upgrade is here is the original caps. You can see the car paint has sort of a black metallic to it, and the new ones do not have that metallic. It's just plain black. Inside the mirror, I've got a couple Torx. I think there's 3 of them. So I've got this whole thing kind of off here. Oh, and that just kind of pops right out. There we go. Now these take the exact same plug, so it's pretty much plug and play, but this has a ground wire coming out of it, which I'm not really sure what the purpose of that is. I'm just gonna plug them in like this and test it out. Perfect, that's working. I do not know why the ground wire is there or what that is. I think I'm just gonna tuck it up in here and not worry about it. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you know what that's for. I'm super hyped on how those look. Now I just gotta kind of get them back together. I'm actually pretty excited about these lights. I think these are definitely gonna be one thing that we do today that's an obvious keep. Even outside of like the sequential LED thing that's going on, just the smoked look is nice. I think that those lights just really make, the white ones make the mirrors just look kind of lame and dated. The fitment to me on these lights is actually very impressive too. I think they look pretty good. All right, there's the old cap. Now we gotta fit the M3 style cap on. So I fitted the new mirror caps and they gave me a nice satisfying click. Then I pulled on them a little bit just to make sure they were on solid. The last thing to do was pop the mirror glass back in and, well, of course, do the same thing on the other side. But now it's time for a before and after. So here's what they looked like before with the standard mirror cap and then the OEM blinker light, which is kind of just this solid white and it all flashes at the same time. I think that white really detracted from the look of the car. And here's what it looks like now with the new mirror caps and the side blinkers. I think these blinkers look a lot better. I'm totally sold on these. I like the black look when they're off, and I also love the sequential LEDs. Let me know what you think about the mirror caps. They're definitely a different color black than the actual car. I don't notice too much, but I'm not completely sold on them. Wow, I just love these lights. But anyways, now it's time to move to the back of the car for a few small details before we go to the front for some bigger stuff and run into some problems. So I'm going to replace this chrome 335i badge with a black one. The first thing I did was actually just stick the black numbers over the silver ones to make sure I got them all in place. And then I took a piece of tape, laid it over the black badge, and then kind of peeled them off so I had them all stuck on sort of a template that I could later put back onto the car. Then I used some masking tape to frame around the numbers. This is gonna get a little chewed up with the polisher, but it gives me a good idea of where the new ones have to go back onto the car so I can get them in the exact same place. Now I'm just gonna use a heat gun to heat up the numbers. It loosens up the adhesive and then they pull right off. They left a lot of residue, so I used a rag and then I was kind of gentle with a plastic scraper to get all the residue off. Then I hit it with my dual action polisher to shine it up, which worked pretty well, except for a lot of the polish kind of got underneath the sides of the tape. So I had to spend quite a bit of time with a rag just cleaning it all off. Now using my packaging tape jig, I'm gonna stick them to the car, and I had to tweak some of them a little bit after. I have bought things like this before where they come on an adhesive piece of paper all lined up so you don't have to do that packaging tape trick, but these ones unfortunately did not. I think they turned out pretty good. Here's what it looked like before. And here's what it looked like after. Did I get them on straight? I don't know. It's probably one of those things where if you do it yourself, it's gonna drive you nuts. If somebody else had done it, you probably wouldn't notice. The last thing I have for the back is a new license plate frame because I hate being a driving billboard, especially when that's not even where I bought the car from. Installation for this was pretty simple, except I was missing one screw on the bottom and the other one was just spinning in place. So I had to take the whole bracket off. I ended up just not using the bottom screws. I'll go get those later. Then I had to take the screws back out because I'd forgot these little washers that let the little caps pop in. Anyway, this takes us onto the front of the car because of course we have a license plate frame for the front as well. All right, so now behind the grille, I'm gonna be installing these little covers that go on the supports here just to add a little blue accent. And then I will put on this air scoop that goes in there and it scoops air. There's actually a vent right there, that vent. This will go right around that and scoop air into there, which actually provides air to the airbox. This thing is actually metal. My thoughts on it from a performance standpoint are extremely doubtful. I can see it maybe reducing the intake air temperature a few degrees, which theoretically could be helpful. Mostly, I want to throw it in there and see what it looks like cosmetically. Adding a little blue, I think might just look nice. So I've got to take this kidney grill out. The best way to do that is actually remove this weather stripping and pull the bumper out a little bit and get in behind. That way you don't have to reach through and try to get the clips out and end up breaking them. So I got a bunch of Torx, probably 30s to take out. And I was partially correct. These are mostly T30s except for one on each end, which is a T25. This was not too difficult to get out at all. A little bit more difficult than on the E90s, but when you can look behind the bumper, it's pretty easy. So I'm guessing these just kind of snap in. I was wondering if they would have a problem with like spinning around in there, but they do fit on tight enough that that's not gonna happen. That's pretty cool. I don't know, I might like that. Now let's see how this thing goes in there. Honestly, this thing feels doubtful to me. I see plastic in the way. And after struggling with it for some time, I realized I was right to have doubts. This thing was not the right part for the job. Okay, a little bit of a problem with my air scoop. Two things. One, this plastic thing, and then this bar. If I try to put it in there, like it doesn't fit. It seems like this cutout is for this bar, but it's on the wrong side. So that got me thinking over here on this side, it fits perfectly. It's got the cutout around the bar. So basically, I think the 328 has the airbox on this side. The 335 does not. If I were to put it on there, that would be absolutely ridiculous. Honestly, I'm not in love with the look of it anyway, so that's going back. The sad thing is, this was one of the parts that I kind of had high hopes for. I mean, it at least gives the illusion of performance. But we're gonna move on to the last piece that I absolutely doubted. But once they're on, they might actually be toward the top of my list. I'm leaving the hood up because that brings us to our last Amazon special, which has to do with this headlight. both headlights, obviously. See this silver look on the headlight? I don't know why, but they've got this kind of silver piece on the top of the headlight, which does not give a very aggressive look. So we might have something to solve that. We've got a sticker. Out of all the parts I've put on today, I have to say I'm the least optimistic about this one. When I ordered this, I thought it was like an actual plastic piece that stuck on. Now that I've got it, it's basically just a piece of vinyl. And it's gonna go in there like that, I guess. So only a few months ago, I would not have had all the proper tools I needed to do this job because it requires a mixture of water and baby shampoo. Luckily now I have a steady supply of baby shampoo on hand. So I'm gonna be wetting this thing down. This is kind of like a window tint install. Probably wet this down as I peel it back. Oh, this thing is like, I thought it was black. It's a tint. That I did not know. There we go. Mist that on. Plenty of liquid. So all I have to do is get this set in place, and then I'm just gonna kind of squeegee all the baby shampoo water out. And once it's pretty much dry underneath, I'm gonna take a heat gun, and that takes out any wrinkles or bubbles and gets it really smooth. That thing was actually remarkably easy to install, and honestly, it doesn't look half bad. Now I'm just gonna do the passenger side really quick before we go outside for the big reveal. This one, I just had to be careful to line up so it looked exactly the same as the other side. Okay, here we go with a before and after of the headlight tint. Here's the before, and here's the after. And let's do some before and afters for the rest of the car. And while I don't think you should just stick anything you find on Amazon onto your car, there are some good and there's some bad. It may be a pretty inexpensive way to make some subtle modifications that just differentiate your car just how you like it. I'm not championing any specific one of these products. In fact, some might stay, some might go. I'm not positive how I feel about each one of them right now, but I would be happy to hear feedback. I won't be offended. You might hate some of them, you might like them, or you got an idea of what you do or don't want to do to your car. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Please like the video or comment down below. All the little interactions help. If you liked it and you want to see more, head over to my channel and I'll see you there.